afternoon everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are going to be looking at the naming of binary covalent compounds, which is type 3. We have done type 1 and type 2. So now, binary covalent compounds, these are compounds that are only composed of non-metals. So naming binary covalent compounds, you need to know some prefixes. So prefixes and words that are put before the element itself. So like for example, when we say mono, we mean to say 1. When we say di, we mean to say 2. When we say tri, that means 3. When we say tetra, that means 4. When we say penta, that means 5. When we say hexa, that means 6. When we say hepta, that means there are 7. When we say octa, that means to say there are 8. When we say nona, that means to say there are 9. When we say deca, that means to say there are 10. So now with this said, we are going to be putting these words before the elements when we are dealing with both of them are non-metals. So let's say for example we have CO2. If we are required to name this, we are going to establish to say here there is 1 carbon and there are 2 oxygens. So we are going to say this element's name will be a monocarbon. Since there is 1 carbon, monocarbon, then there are 2 oxygens, so we are going to say dioxide. Now, the rule is that whenever we are looking at the prefixes, if the first element there is only 1, there is no need to put mono. But if it is the second one that is having 1, there is need to put that. So this one is carbon dioxide. If we have CO, like this, we have 1 carbon, we have 1 oxygen. This one will be our carbon. Then there is 1 carbon, so we have to account. We are going to say monoxide. If we look at our next one, let's say we have NCl3. For this one, we have 1 nitrogen, we have 3 chlorines. So the name of this one will be 1 nitrogen, which will be nitrogen. Then we are going to put a 3. The prefix is tri. Then we are going to say chloride. When we look at our next one, so if we have SO3, the name of these compounds will be sulfur. Then we are going to say trioxide. Since there is 1 sulfur and 3 oxygens. Let's say we have N2O. So we have 2 nitrogens, we have 1 oxygen. So this under this one we are going to say, since there are 2, we are going to say dinitrogen. Then there is 1 oxygen, we are going to say monoxide. So remember, the only way you can do this is mostly when you are looking at the type 3, which are binary covalent compounds, those that contain only non-metals. So let's look at, let's say we have PCl₅. So this one, the name will be, we have 1 phosphorus, we have 5 chlorines. So we are going to say this one is phosphorus, then 5, the prefix is pentachloride, like that. So if we have N2O5, we are going to have, we have 2 nitrogens, then we have 5 oxygens. So we are going to say this one is dinitrogen. So di means 2. Then we are going to say penta. Since there are 5, pentaoxide. So we have pentoxide. So whenever the word is beginning with it's ending with a, but the next one is beginning with a vowel such as oxygen, we drop the a. So this one will be our dinitrogen pentoxide. So let's say we have been provided with dichloride monoxide. So how do you write this? So this means to say there are two chlorines. So we are going to say Cl2, then there is one oxygen. So we are going to say mono means one, so we have one oxygen. That's how you write that one. So let's say we have nitrogen dioxide. So here we are going to say our N, we only have one. Then we have our oxygen. Di means two, meaning to say there are two oxygens. So this is nitrogen dioxide. So let's say we have silicon tetrachloride. So here we have the symbol for silicon is Si. So there is only one silicon. Then we have tetrachloride. So meaning to say we have chlorine. How many tetra means 4. So we are going to say it will look like this. So let's say we have N2O4. So this one will be, we have 2 nitrogens, we have 4 oxygens. So here we are going to say dinitrogen. Then we have tetra is for 4. So since that's the last letter is A and the next letter is oxygen begins with O, so we are going to drop the A and begin there. So we are going to say tetroxide. So there are 4 tetroxide. Tetra means 4, so there are 4 oxygens. So let's look at our last two. Let's say we have dinitrogen monoxide. So this means to say there are 2 nitrogens. Di means 2. Then the oxides non. So nona is 9. Now meaning to say we drop this A since the next letter is a vowel. So we are going to say we have oxygen. How many? Non means 9. So we are going to have something like that. Let's say we have P2O10. To name this one, we are going to say di. Then this P is phosphorus. So diphosphorus. Then 10, it means to say we are going to say deca. Now deca, the last letter is A. We remove A. Then we are going to have our oxygen. So we have diphosphorus decoxide. So that is how you go about naming of binary covalent compounds. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you would like, subscribe, and share for more.